Hello, and thank you for joining me on this tapping technique journey. This is lesson 1. We are going to be focusing on developing rhythmic independence, okay? Now, if you're seeing this on YouTube for the first time, rather through No Treble, you'll see the link in the description, and you can go to the No Treble website and check out all the learning materials and sort of the article that accompanies this, okay? Which I'll be talking about throughout. Okay, so two-hand tapping allows us to play 2 or more independent parts at the same time. And a great way to get accustomed to this is to remove or simplify other variables like pitch and harmony, and focus on the rhythmic transformation of one part over the foundation of another. So 5-note scales are an effective way of practicing the fundamentals of this concept on a 4-string bass. Okay, now I apologize. I have my 6-string Ken Smith here. The pandemic has been interesting, so I'm in a different location right now, and my 4 strings aren't with me. So you're going to have to get used to that. But all these exercises can be played on a 4-string the way I've written them out. Okay, so to get started, we're going to use the first 5 notes of a G major scale and play it 2 octaves apart, okay, simultaneously with both hands. So if you look at figure 1, you're going to see the notes and as well as some tablature. So we're going to be starting on the 3rd fret of the E string, okay? And then we're going to go to the 5th fret of the E string, then 2, 3, and 5 on the A string, okay? And we're going to do a similar thing starting on the 17th fret of the D string. Okay, but now we got to do it together, and you'll see the fingerings there: 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Okay, R means right, L means left. So the first step is just get really comfortable with that motion, really connected. You don't want the fingers coming together at different times, like. Okay, you really want to try to get them together right now. The next step after that is, can you just count out loud while you're doing it? So you're really keeping track of those beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. So the next thing to do is decide which rhythm to transform first. And since, most of us bass players are really familiar with fretting using our left hand, it'll be a really good idea that the left-hand part serves as our foundation, our unmoving foundation that, in this case, is literally outlining the pulse in quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. And that way, our transformations this time around is just going to be our right hand. The thing is, if you've been playing a lot of bass, it'll be easier for this hand to be sort of automatic. So that's why we're gonna do it that way. Now, the most basic rhythmic transformations to begin with involve diminution, which is speeding up the rhythm. So maybe going from quarter notes to 8th notes, then to 16th notes. That is diminution, okay? That's squeezing the rhythm. Or augmentation, which is elongation of a rhythm, okay? And if we use even subdivisions of the pulse, elongation might be going quarter notes to half notes, which are 2 beats, furthermore to whole notes, okay? Everything in between exists, and that is a much more complex thing, and we'll breach that subject just a little bit. So in figure 2, you're going to see a diminution of the right hand rhythm from quarter notes to 8th notes while maintaining the original pulse in the left hand. So the first thing to do, when you put it together, it sounds like this. Okay. Now, the first thing to do, if this doesn't come to you immediately, is focus in first on the right hand rhythm that's happening. Can you play it and feel the pulse? Next, can you count while doing it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. If you need to say ands, and that's helpful for you, try that at first. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and putting them together. Now, there's something called chunking. It's what we humans do to learn. It's a very effective learning strategy. It's don't focus on the whole thing at once. Focus in on a little part. So if you have trouble putting together right away, if you have less experience with this kind of thing, then what you want to do is chunk it. Maybe just do the first couple beats and see that you can kind of handle that, okay? But once you've done that work, you're going to be able to put them together. Now the next step is, can you count while doing the two parts? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For many of you, this might be, 10, 20 minutes, an hour. It might go on for a couple of days trying to put these things together. Okay? Then if you see figure 3, then the diminution goes even further, and then you have 16th notes. So it's kind of a 4-for-1 deal, and you get 4 right-hand notes per beat. Okay? And that's going to sound like this. Okay, I think that's actually slower than the tempo we were at originally, but that's fine. So, once again, go through that process of counting just with the first one, okay, or feeling it first even. And once you get the hang of that, then count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. If you want to say all the in-between beats, we do 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, okay? 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. And that might get you there at first, but eventually we want to try to train ourselves just to say the beats and not having to actually vocalize the in-betweens. Okay, so then to put that together, you're going to do the same process, chunking it up if you need to. Maybe just that much. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then stringing those chunks together and consolidating them into the full 2-bar passage. But eventually, what you're going to get is 1, 3. Okay, let me just give me a second. I'm just gonna make sure we're recording. I had a thought that maybe I didn't press record. I did. So we are all good there. So the next thing is augmentation of the rhythm, which is the elongation, right? So quarter notes in figure 4 become half notes. Still maintaining that pulse in the left hand, that unwavering pulse. Okay? Once again, the same process. So much of this stuff, it's not some magic sauce. There's no secret. It's figuring out the process in which you learn this, skill, and then you got to do all that slow mechanical work, because the idea behind music, it's about real-time application. It's not about textbook knowledge. It's not about just saying, oh, that's just, this over this, and it works this way. Well, that's all well and good, but you need to get the physical quality happening at such a level that it comes out naturally, okay? So all this stuff, many of you will understand very quickly, but getting the physicality behind it is the work. So you can do that. Those same steps that you did for figure 2 and 3 will apply here, and then in figure 5, you have whole notes. So now it's been elongated even more augmentation of the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're home. Okay? Follow those same steps, okay? Now that if you've made it to this far, which for sure could be very quick for some of you, or for those who are less familiar, maybe a lot longer, but the next thing that we can do is use some more challenging rhythmic transformations. And believe me, there are a pile of them. There's divisions of 5, divisions of 7. There's like really crazy stuff. But here's some more common ones to get started with. Figure 6 is dotted quarter notes. So you want to go through that same process. Can you feel them and play them in the right hand first? Okay? That's right. Then, next step, can you count it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Once you got that, can you put them together? Once again, chunking it is your friend, okay? It ends up being a 6-bar passage, but it'll sound like this. Okay, but if you need to chunk it and just do something like this, and figure out those points where it comes together, which is on beat 4, then that'll totally help you. And a few years ago, I was doing that same thing, and if I play very complex stuff, I have to do that whole chunking process. It's very common. I don't know who doesn't have to do it at some point. So now figure 7, another very common thing. So instead of dotted quarter notes, dotted eighth notes. Okay, so basically that's a rhythm that has now been cut in half, diminution. Okay, so then that's going to sound like this. Okay, you're going to go through that same process, and then eventually you can count while doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay. Furthermore, there is dotted quarter notes, and there's a whole bunch of neat tricks that could help you learn how to play dotted quarter notes. Not dotted quarter notes, sorry, quarter note triplets. So there's resources there, but if you're already someone that's familiar with doing quarter note triplets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now we're doing it with the bass, the right hand. First, can you feel it? Next thing is, can you count it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Putting them together. That same process. Can you count while doing the two parts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Okay, that could be, there could be diminution of that rhythm. And that is figure 9, and that is half note triplets. And that'll sound like this once you've done that same work with it, that same work that we're talking about. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that's what it comes down to. So congratulations for making it this far. The next step in taking this material further is to repeat all this work that you did where the right hand is being transformed, and then do the same thing with your left hand. Okay, and you can go through that process. So if I had the right hand going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, And let's say we wanted the left hand to do those dotted eighth notes, right? Okay, with the counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And then it comes together again. All right, so remember that practicing music is all about the goal of making music, okay? So don't get stuck on this one concept. Instead, chip away at it, and if you like this and like, where you can go with it, then allow it to become part of your practice regimen. And just remember that lots of beautiful music and solo bass arrangements that are out there that are, really beautiful. Don't use some of the more complex levels of hand independence. It might use the stuff that you see in just figures 1, 2, and 3, or some of the early ones. Not 1 because that's the same time, but some of the earlier figures that you see in this exercise. So if you get a sort of a handle on those first ones, that's a good jumping off point, and just start getting creative with it. Don't forget about that creative side of music, whether it be arranging music or writing original music. That power is in your hands. Good luck and happy practicing.